Good evening, everybody. It is Monday night. It is racing once again here at SARCO. It is round number 5 of our GT3 Sprint Series. We are at Fuji. The rain is pouring down. And in the commentary box, who's going to be my director this evening and competitor on the racetrack a little bit later. Ashley, how are you this evening?
I'm very well, thank you, Dylan, and looking forward to another fantastic evening of racing. We're here at the Fuji circuit, coming to you live from, or virtually live from Japan, and I think we're going to be in for a very exciting race this evening.
Have you done much practice on this track at all?
I haven't done any practice.
Okay, so it's going to be very interesting, and all I can say is that if you touch me, I have done some practice.
I probably won't be anywhere near you this evening. I was up until half an hour ago. I was still working, so it's been a little bit difficult to get in some laps, and I'm just grateful that I'm able to join at the last minute now.
No, 100%, guys. So Ashley has done the driver's briefing to our Bravo tier. The Alpha tier will be starting at 9 o'clock. And just remember, we have 2 heats this evening. The first one is at 2 o'clock time in the rain, and then we go to a 7 o'clock in the evening with some rain as well. So that's definitely going to make things very, very interesting. And I can tell you that the cars do not handle the same in that daytime session versus a nighttime session. So Ashley, all I can say is that you're going to have an absolute coconut of a time.
Yeah, fantastic. I can't wait.
So while we're just waiting for the final thumbs to go up, let's just have a look at some of the comments coming through. Daniel War Machine Morales, he is back, saying, hello boys, code coconuts activated. That is absolutely correct there, Daniel. Let's have a little glance there from that side. So I think they are just waiting for our broadcasters to get the thumb up. So that is now up. So we can quickly just jump across to that screen, and yes guys, as you can hear, that the sound is 100% working once again. No settings were changed from last week to this week. I just turned it on and miraculously everything was working, and really looking forward to the racing this evening. Just remember that we don't have a qualifying for the beginning of this heat, so it definitely does mix up the field just a little bit, and the goal is to get yourself in that top 6 to get yourself a reverse grid start for the rolling start for the second heat. Just having a look at Ash, we see Steven needs an invite.
Oh, my humble apologies.
Sorry Stevie, we've got you covered there, but thank you for just dropping us a message. And then we see Ellie, he's joined us saying, ahoy boys, coconuts. Most definitely it is going to be absolutely awesome. Ellie's actually in a little series that I'm going to be racing this coming Wednesday. I'm doing some Polo Cup racing with the SSRL on PC. So racing with some East London boys and getting my PC working. So looking forward to that little series happening. So guys, if you do want to go check them out, if you do have a PC, go have a look.
That sounds like fun. I actually thought you were going to be driving Polo Cups. I was actually going to be just about to send you a message via WhatsApp, and it would have been lots of coconuts and what should I say? Jealousy messages coming through.
Not at all. Not at all. Okay, so
just trying to make sure that I got all the drivers here. We do have 14 drivers joining us this evening, and I just want to double check if I've invited everyone into the lobby. We don't want to miss.
So we currently have 12 drivers that are in there.
Sorry, 12.
While you're doing that, Ashley, let's just have a quick look at what's happened in the current results, and this is now after round number 4. For the Bravo tier, Peter Brunt, he's out in front, 75 points clear there. He's ahead of Louis. Then in third place is Morris from BRM Racing, 13 points behind there with Adrian Bond. He's in 4th place. I was actually in a little practice lobby earlier with Adrian Brond, and that Ferrari's really looking a little bit racy in the wet. 7 points behind there with our UK International for Motorsport UK, that is Cutting Beef Duncan, 19 points. He's in 5th place. Then Stephen, the Black Mamba, he's got 107 points. He's down in 6th with Dane. He's in 7th. Rudy Bass, he's in 8th place with Colin in 9th. Donovan is 10th with Raf 11th. Rafiki James, he's in 12th place, looking to get himself further up. And then Ryan, he's in 13th with Dr. Phil, Yolan, Ethan and Reeve are not racing. Just having a look at some more comments coming through. Carl, he's saying, evening boys, damn GT3 Old Faithful, a PC2 100%. So Ash, are we good to go? Is there anyone on the Discord that is asking for an invite? Because then we can get going. Objects in the mirror, you're racing next, not right now, unless you're just asking for a practice. But I think we are good to go. So while we just get that confirmation, guys, let's just have a look at a message from our sponsor, and that's Deliver Your Parcel. So guys, all the details for Deliver Your Parcel are in the description below if you would like to make use of their services. Don't forget just to use a SARCO as your reference, and you will get a preferential discount added to your bill, and that is due to them being the sponsor. They are actually putting up a prize that the top 3 drivers from each of our leagues this season go into a lucky draw. We're choosing 3 drivers, and they will then join us at the July F400 Endurance Series. So really looking forward to that. So we are currently lined up. 12 drivers are there, and it looks like Cutting Beef Duncan, he's got himself on the front row with Raf in 2nd, Stephen 3rd, Louis in 4th place with Rudy Bass in 5th, Dane in 6th. That is Yolan in 7th place. Johan VDV, he makes a return, having dabbled a little bit on PC, decides to come back. Peter Brunt in 9th place. Adrian Bond, he's down in 10th. He has a lot of work to get done. And then Morris in 11th. And it looks like we've just lost a driver. We had 12, we are now down to 11. Ash?
Yeah, I'm not too sure who that was. But I also see we've got quite a big crowd there today, and it looks like they sorted out the coronavirus in Japan, because I don't see anyone wearing masks there.
Ash, I'm just getting the sound coming through on both the game and the Discord. If you can just turn one of them off, preferably the
my apologies for that.
There we go. So I'm still not sure who the person was that had disconnected. But here we go. We are racing here at Fuji Speedway, and there's a car stuck on the grid there, and a huge spin there for the Janetta, and that looks like that's Johan VDV. Dane is stuck on the back on the grid there. He doesn't look like he's got away. But Stephen in that Porsche has had an absolute flyer off the start. He's moved himself up into 1st place with, I keep saying Raf, but that's James. It's Rafiki. because Raf is silverback. Sorry, yes, and I kept making that same mistake last week as well. James, apologies. But there's Louis on the inside of Duncan. They're going 3 wide through there. That is extremely brave on all 3 of those drivers. But going around the outside is Louis, and he's looking to defend up against the Porsche. Going to the braking zone here at Dunlop is going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, and we see Stephen in the league of his own at the moment. Really opened up a 1.6 second gap. Ooh, we see there a little bit of touch between, looks like Louis, and I think it was James just behind him. But both drivers managed to keep him on the track and doing an excellent job of avoiding each other for the second time there. Further back of the field, we have a little bit of bunching and a bit of a bump there. And I see 2 more drivers actually looks like they've disconnected there. So I'm not too sure what's going on with this lobby this evening. Ooh, there we see Adrian Bond and I think it was, there was James coming together.
So this track is definitely challenging in the best of times, and Stephen down to 3rd. So I wonder whether he had a little spin up at turn number 15. I do know that up there the track is very, very tricky, and it looks like Peter Brunt is getting a draft, and now Stephen diving into the inside, and looks like he outbraked himself a little bit, and now that's released Louis out in front, and Peter Brunt up into 2nd place with now Duncan in 3rd.
Yeah, it looked like Stephen just braked a little bit too late and maybe got a bit of slide there from the wet track, and Duncan just had to go straight, trying to avoid him. And then the 2 guys now, 2 Porsches collecting each other, and looks now like Cutting Beef has spun there in the background, so that's most unfortunate for him.
I think that the guys are just underestimating the understeer that you're expecting when you do go through here. And I think it will be a lot tidier going into the next race as Stephen touches the curb and he spins himself around. But now that releases Louis out in front with Peter Brunt in 2nd and Rudy in 3rd place in his BMW.
So as we saw last week, we saw Peter Brunt fairly strong around the Catalunya circuit, and just showing how good that Ferrari is now at the Fuji circuit. Already moved up into 2nd position and chasing Louis down for that 1st place. In 3rd place we got Rudy there in the BMW, and Stephen not having a very good first couple of laps there. We saw he had a fantastic start, but now dropping right down to 4th and losing some time to those guys up ahead.
And I see that Yolan is putting a little bit of pressure there, he's got some pressure back from the Ferrari of Adrian. I know that Ferrari in a straight line is very, very quick, but I must say that Louis is, those 2 just cutting that corner perfectly as PB gets a little bit of curb on the outside and goes a little bit sliding there. Just looking at some of the comments coming through. How's it, guys? Good luck to all. That's come from Jason Nowell. How's it, Jason? Lekker me bra. Peter Heidemann, keep it on the black stuff. Well, Peace, I hope that you're watching this because some of the alpha guys, I'm sure, can definitely learn from what we're seeing. Samantha Rasmus saying, go, James. Unfortunately, James down in 8th place. Just a few little contact moments has pushed him further down as we see Rudy on the brakes. Very, very squirrely. We're going into the Dunlop chicane. That's turns 10 and 11. But Stephen doing a great job. Now just keeping it where it needs to be, getting himself back into rhythm. And with 15 minutes to go, I'm pretty sure that's a bit of a sympathy spin there.
Synchronized spinning there for those 2 drivers, but actually worked out pretty well for Stephen. He managed to move up a position there.
But that looks like it's actually Louis in front of the 2 of them. I have no idea what's going on now. because it looks
And
like
now Louis going under the track.
That is absolutely incredible.
It would appear that he's trying a new Matrix level of driving underground.
That is a whole new level of what? But now Stephen making an easy overtake. I don't even know whether Stephen knew that he was there.
I wonder what it looks like on board. I mean, that must... I wonder if you can actually see where he's going. Whoa, well, there you go.
Yeah, so there's definitely... The game is not loving where Louis is driving at the moment. And I'm pretty sure that this is not what Louis is seeing, because I don't even know whether I would be able to drive with that view. That is absolutely incredible. Never seen that before.
No, it's the first time for him.
So Morris Jacobs has just joined us saying that he disconnected. You'll see us in the second race. Very strange. But low profile Louis chasing down Stephen. I wonder whether that's going to give him a bit of a benefit, less downforce.
Yeah, or maybe the track's so wet that he's actually drowning. And that's probably what's happening. And that's because of that massive wing on the back of that Porsche, it's keeping it afloat. I think that's the only thing I can think of at the moment. That's what's going on here.
So our race leader, PB, out in front. That's Peter Brunt, 13 minutes left to go. Brandon DeSantos saying, hey guys, let's go Louis. And then Jason now saying, who dropped oil? Man, oh man. It has been very, very tricky there for the drivers. And the thing is that if you are on the beginning of the race, there is a little bit of a dry line. So you are able to make use of that. But once you get off that line and you hit that the wet, it does make it very, very interesting. And as the race goes on, the guys will start seeing a little bit of pooling here and there. And that does make it a little bit trickier to deal with. Not only that, is when we go to the night time, the track temperature is colder, which means it's going to be even more tricky.
I'm aware.
Just building your confidence up there. As you know what you do, you break the person down and then you build them up.
Thanks, Dylan. That's exactly what I need. So on board now with Rudy in that very yellow BMW, out in 4th position at the moment. And just looking at his times there, 147 flat. He's got a bit of work to do if he wants to keep the pace with those guys up ahead. Louis doing a 146.6, Steven with a time of a 145.6, so almost a second quicker than Louis there. And out in front, Peter Brunt with a 46 as well. So the quickest guy on the track at the moment is Steven. And not able to actually keep the car on the track. It would appear that he's really battling with getting the power down. When he manages to get a lap down, he's pretty quick, but hasn't been able to keep it consistent. And now that's dropped him further back into 3rd position again.
Yeah, it does seem like on the wet condition that the Porsche is over-rotating and just not able to get the
grip look at that.
That is required. Oh, there we go. So Louis has... But that car...
What do you say? Race from the dead.
The Undertaker. There we go.
Yeah.
Louis' new nickname. But just watching that Porsche in a straight line, it is extremely quick. But as mentioned, it just does seem that Stephen is batting with the rear end grip. I see that 5th and 6th place, they're having a little battle there. And that is Adrian Bond and Cutting Beef Duncan, also in that Porsche. I wonder whether he's experiencing a very similar trend.
Yeah, I don't think the Porsches are favouring the wet weather today. It would appear that the Ferrari seems to be a lot more stable in these conditions. We'll be interested to see what the McLaren will do. How was the Curo when you took it out, Dylan?
Unfortunately, I've always known that this is not going to be my race to win this evening. Going down the straight, It is one of the longest straights that we have, and I just don't have the legs.
No, it's okay. I totally understand.
But coming through this section here, I must say the Honda is really strong. You can see.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
You can see that full lock there from Duncan, going up through turn number 13. Just looking, some more comments coming through. Jason now saying, looking forward to having some of your drivers on Wednesday night in the Clio Cup. 100% Jason, really looking forward to coming and joining you guys for a little bit of PC racing. Brandon DeSantos, Stephen keeps hitting the standing water on the turn. Brandon, I think
Stephen's going to the pits now.
Did he get a drive through?
I wonder.
Because there's no damage on that car, so I think he was just trying to make a run for it, get a drive through and come out again. But now he's down in 7th place with 8.5 minutes left to go. He's going to have to go and catch Yolan, because if he doesn't do that, he's going to be way down the order, down in a 7th place. In shot, Johan VDV deciding to go with the Janetta, a really great stable little car, and I'm sure that he's making use of that grip here in the wet conditions. But I do think you'll have a very similar problem that the Honda, technically it's a Honda, that the Acura is going to have, and that is just that top speed on the main straight. It is an absolute crack of a straight, and man oh man, just watch out for the Bentley and the Audis on there. That car, those two cars are going to absolutely fly down there.
Absolutely. We know the Audi's got that V10 power behind it, practically a Lamborghini motor in it, and you're going to see that car flying down the straights, and hopefully we can pick up a bit of stitching from him.
Yolan makes a mistake, so Stephen gets himself up into 6th place, and that was going through the chicane at turn number 11. It looked like he probably hit the curb on the run through 12, rotated, and unfortunately found himself wanting, because now he's going to have to go in and chase down Stephen in that Porsche.
Yeah, that car doesn't seem to be handling it well at all. He's really battling to get the power down. A little bit better out that corner this time. But I think from spinning him, he may have just overheated those tires. And it's not making life any better for him at the moment.
So out in front, our race leader, Peter Brandt, he's getting himself through the Dunlop chicane. 13 seconds is the gap between himself and Rudy Bass in a second. Louis, he's moving up the order. I did see there was a comment here. There it is. That is from Philip Lewitt saying, you can do it, Insomnia. Keep pushing, brother. So awesome to see you supporting your drivers. To everybody out there, just let us know who you're supporting. Who do you think is going to take the second race, understanding that we have lost 3 drivers? We lost Marius Collins, not here, as well as Dane. And unfortunately, it does seem to be a trend with those drivers, unfortunately, and hoping that for the next race we're able to keep a full grid of 12 drivers racing.
Yeah, absolutely. So just a reminder to the viewers, we do have another 20-minute session up for the Bravoteers, and we'll be doing a reverse grid for the top 6. So it's going to make life a little bit interesting with the guys from winning the top in the top 6. There will be reverse grid. I see Peter Brandt going a bit wide there, but tiptoeing around this track and doing a fine job of keeping on the black stuff.
Yeah, going through that 100R that you can generally, in the dry, as you go through a turn, the number 4, you could take a nice wide entry, a little gear down, the nose comes in, you accelerate, and then you're just about full taps, hitting about 185 to 190 kilometers an hour on the exit before you hit the hairpin. But I promise you now, going through there in the wet, it does feel like you're tippy-toeing.
Yeah, he just seems to have found a nice rhythm now. I suppose he doesn't have much pressure behind him with Louis 18 seconds now, 19 seconds behind him, and that gap is increasing lap by lap. 4 minutes left on the clock. He can just take it easy and nurse that car home.
So there's a battle for second and third place. And that is Adrian Bond, who's now found himself on the podium. But he can't relax and rest on his laurels too much, because in fourth place is Louis, 2 seconds behind. So any one of these three could possibly land up on the podium.
Louis in second. He's chasing down Louis at the moment. It's Rudy.
No, but
Sorry,
Adrian is in third. Rudy is in fourth.
Did you say Rudy? I thought you said Louis.
Oh.
My apologies.
So you could just see how quick that Ferrari is in a straight line. And is Adrian close enough for a dive? No, he's not. And you can just see how Louis goes and just protects that inside line just a little bit.
It's quite a bit of damage on Louis' car there, so I wonder if he's also just nursing it.
Well, he's going to have an almighty battle because he's going to be trying to battle and defend for this position while trying to nurse a car is going to be extremely tricky. As he runs wide coming out of turn number 5 now into the hairpin, you could just see how that car is just floating through that corner. And Adrian Bond did look like he got a good drive out of there. Just looking at the gap between the drivers, that time is definitely coming down. So Adrian closing up on Louis, and even a little bit of damage on the back. And Louis rotates the car, allows Adrian to go through. And it looks like Rudy's made a mistake, because we now have Cutting Beef, Duncan up into fourth place. So positions changing at just about every corner now.
Yeah, so it looks like Cutting Beef has made up quite a bit of time and getting to grips with the weather conditions, and he's moved himself right up into a fighting battle here, but we've only got 2 minutes left on the clock, so I think we only get one more lap. Oh, there we see Louis going very wide and onto the grass, and that's not going to help him. Increase that gap.
He does have 5 seconds between himself and Duncan. So all he needs to do is just one more lap to bring it home, and Louis will get himself on the podium. Where is Peter Brunt on track? Because with a minute and a half to go, so Peter Brunt's now going into turn number 6.
Okay, so we can probably get another lap in here.
And that's exactly the point. We might just get another lap unless Peter Brunt decides no ways, he comes off the power, just coast towards the line. Because now he'll be going through a Dunlop. You could just hear how he's tiptoeing through there.
This is going to be very close. I don't think he's going to make it.
Yeah,
what's the bet, Dylan?
It's 50 seconds. Of course he's going to make it. It's the main straight's about 20 seconds long. So you'll have about, I'd say 12 seconds spare.
Okay, cool.
Unless he comes off the power now.
He's coming off the power. Okay, well, looks like he's going to cross the line for another lap.
Wait.
20 seconds.
Not yet, not yet. There we go. 20 seconds. Okay, so one more lap to go. There's still that 5 second gap between Duncan and Louis. So one more lap. Let's just see what the time difference is between Duncan and Louis when they cross that line. Because that will give us an indication of whether Duncan has a chance to get himself on the podium, or whether Louis will have it in the bag. So a 1:47.9 for Louis and a 1:48.7 for Duncan. So Currently, Louis seems to be safe in that third spot.
Yeah, I seem to have done a much better lap on their previous run, but still that gap between himself and Adrian is now up in 2.5 seconds. And unless we see a mistake here from one of these drivers,
listen, these conditions are so unpredictable, and I don't want to be a commentator's curse, but anything can still happen.
Absolutely.
So here comes Peter Brunt for the last time in heat number 1. And then just don't forget, actually, when we go to the next heat, just make sure the time has changed to 7 o'clock in the evening. So it's not quite dark, but it is still enough to bring out the worst conditions for a racetrack. Then there's Peter Brunt flashing his lights as he crosses the line. Then in a second place, currently watching Adrian Bond now.
So good win there for 2 Ferraris. Oh wow, bit of a change. Maybe you see the Ferraris up in front again.
I did say that Ferrari was quick. Louis comes home in a third place with Duncan. I'm sure he'll be happy with his 4th.
Yep, they will put him in a good position for the next race.
Steven managed to get himself up into 5th, and that was after Rudy's spin, which means that Rudy will now start in pole position. So will that BMW be able to get away off the line? All will be revealed in the next couple of minutes. So guys, don't go away just yet. We will be going back into the second heat, and there's Yolan, he's gone past, and the battle for 8th and 9th place, and that is between James down in 8th and Johan VDV in 9th position. True Johan VDV style.
Yeah.
Okay guys, so what's going to happen is we have a reverse grid now. Rudy Base, he will lead the field on the formation lap, followed by Steven in 2nd. Duncan will be in 3rd, Louis in 5th, Louis in 4th, Adrian in 5th, and then Peter Brunt in 6th place. The reverse grid definitely does make things very interesting, and all will be revealed in the next 2 minutes or so. So while you just go grab another cup of coffee, go and get that done, and we'll just have another look from our sponsor, Deliver Your Parcel. So guys, if you do need any deliveries, whether it's locally, nationally or internationally, go check out deliveryourparcel.co.za. You can even call them. The details are in the description below. So please do support the brands that support SARCO. Just getting Dane back in the lobby. We should have Marius is back there. He is there. And hopefully we get Colin in, which I'm sure he is there. Ash, I have...
Still missing a couple of drivers, yeah?
Given the thumbs up, so as soon as you're ready on your side, we can get the second heat underway. Don't forget, guys, we do have the Alpha tier coming up in the next 20 minutes or so. Our host there this evening is Tyler Scott. We will have Ryan and Stephen helping us, and that's Stephen Smith helping us a little bit later this evening. Unfortunately, Stephen Koenig struggling with some load shedding challenges, so he unfortunately not able to join us, but hopefully that gets sorted out for next week.
Alright, I don't think anyone else is going to join. Let's get going.
So a change of the order slightly, and Ash, who got your money on for this time? Is Peter Brunt going to be able to get back, or is Stephen going to be able to keep his head where it needs to be and get that Porsche flying and across the line in first place?
Yeah, well, we've seen how consistent he's been throughout the season. I think he's going to be able to pull it home. The trick is to keep the car on the track, and I think that's what a lot of the drivers here have been battling this evening, whereas he's just kept it nice and clean and tidy, and it's helping to bring that car home.
Can just see how dark it's starting to get, and remember that there is a 5 times progression. It looks like there's a little pit box grid there at the start finish line. That's very strange to see. So guys, this is not the start of the race. You'll see that they will pull off slowly, get themselves into position. The idea is you stay to the left, pass on the right, and once you don't need to give up place anymore, then you just jump to the left hand side, and that's how the drivers know. You can also flash your lights just to let people know you're coming through, just to make sure that we are starting in the correct position. And I'm pretty sure that this start finish line is going to feel very, very long.
So Duncan, you'll be starting second. Sorry, third. Guys, just take it easy. Don't race at the start. Get into position.
We can hear Ashley in the background just giving the instruction to the drivers just to make sure everybody is in the correct positions. So Rudy Bass will lead this field. And Ashley, I'm pretty sure he's going to leave it right till the end of that start-finish line.
Yeah, pretty much what we saw this Sunday in the Formula 1 when they did the restarts. We saw the leading cars leaving it right to the finishing lines, just so that the other cars couldn't get a slipstream or any advantage down the main straight.
I must say that Rudy's definitely got the power on there, so he is going quite quickly. It does look like he is starting to just slow down, just allow the field to bunch up just a little bit. We do have 11 drivers now, and I see that we don't have Colin, so I wonder whether he's having some internet issues or possibly
I think
some load shedding.
Yeah, load shedding has started So possibly.
Oh, Duncan weaving left and right to try and get some heat in the tires in the wet. I most definitely will not be doing that.
Yeah, that's very brave.
Ooh, Johan VDV a little bit wide onto the curb. He was out coming turn number 14. But now we'll see it's going to be a single file. Drivers so we just saw in the background there that was Duncan just getting himself into position, and it should be a 3. Oh, the guys are pushing, but there they go across the line, and a clean start from all the drivers. Nice single file into turn number 1. A look to the insiders. Looked like he has been able to jump a few places. And that is the Porsche of Duncan. So he's up into 3rd, and now it is BMW, Porsche, with Adrian Bond in 4th place, followed by Louis in 5th, and then Peter Brunt in 6th place. But Stephen holding a nice tight inside line through the 100R, and they do seem to be a little bit more comfortable at this time round, knowing that there is a little bit of a dry line that is currently on the track. That's Peter Brunt down in 6th, and you can see that he hasn't quite closed up a gap between himself and Louis just yet. So I wonder whether he just knows that later on he will be able to get the power down. But everybody nice and safely through turn number 10 and 11, then back up the hill now. Through the very, very tight turn number 13. It comes back on you. Then through turn number 14 is Rudy losing out there. He's going to be swamped any moment now. And it looks like Duncan will be able to move to the inside of turn number 16 at Panasonic and get a drive down the start-finish line. But there we have Adrian in that Ferrari. Pretty much thinking that he might be able to catch up to the back of that Porsche as well when they go into the braking zone. But look at that, BMW is absolutely flying down the main straight, overtaking Stephen as if Stephen was looking for parking.
Yeah, it looked like he got a much better drive out that final curve. You see Stephen out braking himself and going wide, and putting Lewis Hamilton stunt there. As we now see.
So
that's correct.
Stephen down into 3rd place. Rudy now back into the lead, and he's got Duncan chasing him down in 2nd, with Louis in 4th, and there's Peter Brunt. He's been able to move himself up the order. He is in 5th, and there we have Yolan in 6th place. It is not Rafiki. That is James in 7th place, with Morris and Stephen having a absolute nightmare in that Porsche this evening.
And I think that's exactly what Peter Brunt's been waiting for. Just playing that patience game. He's still got some time. There we see Gutsy Beef now losing the rear end. And Rudy now losing the rear end of that BMW. So both drivers, our top 2 drivers, now losing out. And that. I should say that Cutting Beef has now moved into 1st position, so he was able to catch that. But look at now, Peter Brunt has moved up into 3rd.
So that's just due to the attrition of the drivers, and a great tighter line there for Louis as he comes out of turn number 16. But just watch the straight line speed here of the Ferrari. And Peter Brunt going from 3rd. It looks like he might be able to leapfrog himself into 1st. We're going 3 wide across the start-finish line into turn number 1. And it looks like Peter Brunt is now in front as all 3 drivers jump onto the brakes. Peter Brunt is just able to hang on to it. And he's now fighting with Duncan, who's now in 2nd. And Louis now loses out some places.
Yep. Epic battle here between these top three drivers, and Cutting Beef and Louis swapping places now, left, right, and center.
So Duncan is currently racing on a controller, and he's doing absolutely incredibly in the wet on the controller, 100%. Oh!
Well, you say
no!
That. Sorry. There was a pure commentator's curse right there, Dylan. I think you should never... Oh my word, look at that car.
Sorry, Duncan.
So it just shows you what happens when you drive with a controller, not a steering wheel.
Sorry,
but
Duncan.
Look at this. Look at Peter Brandt now into first position. And already a 2.5 second gap lead. And that's all he was waiting for. He was waiting for the guys out in front to make the mistake and manage to get by without any hassles. We didn't even have to fight for it. Literally, they've jumped out the way. And Louis doing quite well there as well in second position.
So once again, actually we've lost 2 drivers. We're down to 9. Morris is still there, but we have lost Yolan as well as Dane. So unfortunately 2 drivers out. But now the battle is on here for 3rd, 4th and 5th place. And that is between Marius, and side by side is Rudy and James going into the turn number 3 nice and quick. It looks like Rudy was going to go around the outside. James saw him coming and just tapped off there, let Rudy go through. And that is a much better plan to go with than try and go too wide through there. But now Rudy's starting to put up a little bit of a fight to try and close down the Lamborghini in front of him of Morris Jacobs. As they fly through the 300R now onto the brakes into a Dunlop. And Brandon DeSantos just coming up and saying that is 100% Dylan's fault. Sorry, Duncan. And you can just see how the water's starting to pool on the track there through turns number 13. And both Marius and Rudy just sliding around up through turn number 15. It's going to get very, very tricky as this race continues. We are just about halfway. And now Stephen is on the back of James. And it looks like Stephen might be able to get the drive out. The rear of that Audi was very squirrely on the power. And now it's going to be a straight line down the main straight towards the braking zone into turn number 1.
Yeah, it looks like that Porsche had a much better exit and definitely out-dragged that Audi. But will Stephen manage to get that car? No, he just... It's almost like he's gearing down too quickly, and then the back of the car locks up. I think that's what he's doing, and again
that car's just over rotating. So and I think that what's happened is he's probably gearing down at the last moment to try and help the car rotate, but it's just going too much.
Not in the wet.
Not in the wet.
You can't do that in the wet.
So Peter Brandt 3.7 seconds ahead of second place Louis, and look at those puddles forming. Definitely not going to be fun a little bit later. 9 minutes are left. So to the guys in the Alpha tier, we will be joining you shortly as Peter Brandt goes very, very wide there through that last corner. Can you just jump to 3rd place there, please, Ashley? Because 3rd, 4th, and not so much 5th just yet. but we've got James having an almighty battle with Adrian Bond. So this is Audi versus Ferrari, the German versus the Italians. But I can just tell you, this Ferrari on straight line speed on this track is really, really quick.
Is this the battle you were actually asking for?
That is correct. So that is the battle for third and fourth. And Rudy in the BMW has been able to get himself ahead of the Lamborghini of Marius. But now just looking at the background there, so that battle between Raf and Adrian, they look like they're about side by side now. And just jump there quickly, Ashley. As James goes wide through the 100R, which now releases Adrian up onto the inside, but James holding his line into the hairpin side by side through there. That is a great awareness of both the drivers as they now head towards Dunlop. Oh, it looked like Adrian got a little kick of the rear there as he got into the power. And Marius definitely not letting Rudy get away from him that easily. But I think this is where the BMW is really, really strong, is down the straight. We just saw that speed advantage, and Rudy was very squirrely coming out of turn number 15.
Ooh, very close.
Side
very,
by
very
side.
close.
But just look at the BMW now just starts pulling away. Marius now jumps right up behind the back of that BMW. He should be getting a slipstream advantage.
I think he's just getting sprayed in the face.
But the thing is that does Marius now, as I said, does Marius move over into the braking? But it looks like Rudy did. And Marius is going to try go around the outside into turn number 1. And that was an absolutely fantastic move. He has made it stick. But now as they approach through turn number 3.
Yeah, he's got him.
Yes, that was so close. And Marius was able to just sneak ahead of Rudy there. And
you think that Lamborghini is a 4-wheel drive? I mean,
no,
they normally are.
Not at all. Not yet. Whoa! So Rudy's still now fighting back on the curb. That's very dangerous there for Marius. 5 minutes left to go. And these guys are battling with all their might. For the last podium, Marius goes very defensive on the inside into Dunlop. Rudy looks like he gets a much tighter line there, so he might be able to get the drive back up the hill, but just losing some traction there. So Marius looks like he is away for now.
Yeah, and you can see the puddles of water forming around the track now, so that's going to make life very difficult with 5 minutes left on the clock. These guys are just showing us how tricky the conditions are, but still managing not to hit each other. Let's just cross fingers that they keep that up.
So we saw Peter Brunt was doing 45s in the earlier heat. You can see those times now, 48, a 47.4 for Louis. So nearly 3 seconds is the pace difference now from earlier on. And that is because the track is wet. The conditions are very tricky. And this is all part of the racing, I suppose, is these unpredictable conditions.
No, for sure.
I am not looking forward to getting my little Acura around here in the next 5 minutes or so.
I was just about to say it's going to be a very tough 2-minute races or 2 20-minute races.
So
but I think it looks like Rudy's closing that gap now between himself and Peter Brunt. So I wonder if he's just finding a little bit of extra pace or getting to a nice rhythm. I mean, that times of a 1:47 is pretty much what he was doing in the previous race. So I think that's his comfort zone.
just a message here from Brandon saying that the Super Trofeo Lambos, those are four-wheel drives. These GT3s are real drive. Hold on.
Okay.
Something's gone up here because that's Adrian Bond. He's got himself ahead of Rudy. So Adrian is up into fourth. Rudy has lost another place. And he's got James behind him with 3 minutes left to go. And we know that it takes 20 seconds to get to the start-finish line. So it looks like we'll have 2 more laps to go.
Wow. So just when you thought it was over, once again, the race changes on its head. And now we're seeing Rudy dropping back and Adrian moving up. And
yeah, look at that speed of that
it's crazy.
Holy cow.
And consistently the quickest out of all the cars on the track. It's unbelievable, that straight line speed of that BMW.
But look, you just can't get the power down. And Adrian just goes through the kink into through second. But now Rudy's going to try and put it on the inside there through turn number 3. Now Rudy on the outside, there's going to be a lot of water out there. He's going to have to try and just slow that car down, get closer to the inside. Now
a bit of
into
drifting.
the hairpin turn and number 6. And that car just looks like it just kicking, trying to find that grip, trying to find the traction. But just not able to. But now into the braking zone, side by side, Adrian versus Rudy. Adrian goes wide.
Ooh.
Rudy sneaks himself on the inside, but Adrian is still going to have the apex through the first phase of that chicane. But now Rudy is able to get the power up.
Jeez.
Now too wide through turns number 13, but that puts Adrian on the inside up through 14. Will Rudy be able to do a little undercut through 15? And you can hear that Audi in the background of James. Rudy going to go around the outside at turn number 16. Is that even possible? But it does look like it. Now Rudy back behind the slipstream of that the Ferrari. But just have a look at that, because here comes the Audi of James. James down in 6th place, and I cannot believe the speed advantage of that BMW.
That is crazy. Just manages to power his way
But
down the
look,
straight.
James having a look to the inside of Adrian Bond into turn number 1.
And he's got him. Oh, looks
No,
like
he
he had him
hasn't,
for the
because
moment.
Adrian goes around the outside of turn 1 and manages to hang on to that place. Absolutely incredible racing that we're seeing here from our Bravo tier. Rudy in a 4th place. He has been fighting with every single little bit of fight that he has left in him. Adrian, he too has been fighting, but you can just see the lap differences there. Rudy 51.1, Adrian 51.2, James 59.7. I think that I was about to say it sounded like I just heard the little
he just
gear
lost
down.
it there.
Just went whoa. So it sounded like he just over rotated. Could we say pull the Steven? Or is that too soon? Sorry, Steven.
But out in front at the moment, we got Peter Brandt in last lap of 146.7. So in a league of his own at the moment, with a 5.8 second gap between himself and second base. And I think he's crossed the line, and that's the end of the race. So another win there for Peter Brandt, proving to be the master of the rain around Fuji. In second position, we've got Louis, also a good result for him, and getting himself into second position. In third, we have Marius. So a good comeback from Marius, who started right at the back after being disconnected in the first race, and managed to come in home in the third, get a podium there. Fourth, Rudy, with that straight line speed, managing in ahead of Adrian in 5th position. James finishing up in 6th. 7th is Stephen, who had a bit unfortunate luck there this evening in the rain. And Johan finishing at 8th. 9th is Cutting Beef, who's managed to go back into the pits and repair that Porsche and is able to come back out again. Right. Now I'm starting to get excited.
So there's a confirmation. Yolan and Dane are both disconnecting there. Adrian, he finished in 5th.
So, is it safe to say that Peter Brandt and Louis
and Adrian are the
Hey.
top finishers for the evening?
Okay, guys, top finishers for this evening: Peter Brandt, Louis, and Adrian. Please join us in the live commentary box on Discord. Thank you. Did you guys get that? Guys, can you hear me?
So absolutely a fantastic racing we've just seen there. Just want to check that we've got all the invites for the Alpha tier. Ash, I just wanted to check, have you received the invites from Tyler yet?
No, I haven't. Wait. No.
There we go. Just got the invites from Terry. Right, guys, we are going to get going shortly. We're just waiting to get all the invites in. And we're just waiting for our top 3 drivers to come and join us in the commentary box. And we will get those interviews underway. So just checking in the commentary box, we've got Stephen that's joined us. Stephen is going to be commentating for us on the Alpha tier, so thank you very much there, Stephen, for helping us out. You really had the pace in that Porsche, but that rear was almost uncontrollable, especially into the sharp stuff. Was that just gearing down too much, or was that rear just over-rotating?
Yeah, no, it was there were stages where I was gearing down too fast, and then yeah, I was playing around with the brake bias, and it just wasn't getting any better. So yeah, the rear end was a bit tricky in the wet. But yeah, but majority of the mistakes was me just down gearing too quick, and yeah, it just caught me out badly in the second round. The first run, it wasn't as bad, but yeah, it started to see the toll in the second race.
100%, and that was one of the things that that we did see. And I must make a formal apology to Duncan, because as we went there, I'm saying how well he is driving with the controller, touched the curb, smacked it into the wall, and that was the end of that. So apologies there. Let's go to you, Adrian Bond. Absolute cracker of a last heat there with you between yourself, Louis, and Rudy. Did you enjoy that?
How's it going? Yes, yeah, that was awesome.
And a second place for you in the first heat, so a Ferrari 1 and 2.
I think it's picking up a bit of a delay there.
Okay. And I also see that we do have James. We don't have a Peter Brunt with us. So James, I don't know if you want to have a chat to us as well. A very tricky first race for you. It looked like one of the cars was just understeering as you guys were going through the 100R, little tip. And that unfortunately was your race, but an absolute fantastic battle for you in the second one.
Yeah, thanks, Dol. It was definitely, yeah, I think the rain obviously caught me, especially being new with it. But yeah, I think in the second heat, started getting the hang of it, obviously keeping respect for the drivers. But yeah, I think it's the tricky track, and obviously with the Audi, it's got its perks, but yeah, the braking was also an issue for me. I could get the start-finish straight braking, quite well, but obviously I think it's corner 4, which caught a lot of oaks out of the gates. So yeah, the rain was definitely different to the dry, but yeah, looking forward to the next heat, and then in 2 weeks there's rain again, so luckily got some practice in.
No, 100%. Look, I know that it was a little bit tricky for you in the first heat, but it all makes it worthwhile when you come back and you're actually able to have some close white knuckle racing next to some of your fellow compadres. So really greatly well done there.
Thank you so much, and you must enjoy your race as well, upcoming. Thanks, James.
Haka is all I can say.
Yeah, I'll be watching and streaming.
Cool, thank you so much. So I see that Ryan has joined us. So Stephen, what I'm going to do is I'll get the stream up for you, so that at least you know what Sarge is looking at.
Thank you.
Just having a look at some of the comments coming through. Brandon DeSantos saying Louis P2 muscle arm or muscle man. I don't know what that icon emoji is. It looks like a flamingo from here, actually. Clayton Lee Litzenhall has joined us saying hello, Big Sinky. Hello, Little Sinky. And is also saying how's it to Pete, a fellow go-karting compadre there. So everyone, if you have just joined us, we're just in the changeover from the Bravo tier to the Alpha tier. Just getting our commentators in, getting the thumbs up, and we will be racing in the next a couple of minutes. So, Stephen, I hand over to you. And I'll just remind Sarge that he just needs to join in the Discord. And I will catch you in a few.
No problemo.
So, guys, I see what some of the problem is that Sarge is the director for this evening, but he's unfortunately clashing with quite a few drivers. He has gone out and come back in, so we'll just see whether that is resolved shortly. We also just looking at a message here coming from Cutting Beef, and it wasn't my fault. He did say that his TV turned off during that, so a huge crash there for him. Oh my goodness.
Ouch. That is horrible.
So it wasn't me, it wasn't me.
But though, you've experienced that problem also with Chase, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Yes. I think it was a fun race, if I was correct.
So why is Chase being removed from the session? That is very strange.
I don't know. Yeah, Chase was kicked.
Says that we need Chase because he's our broadcaster.
Well, today is going to be the question: is Morris gonna able to keep his car on the wet track? McLaren gonna outperform the Bentley? Is the AMG gonna go like a rocket down the main straight? We're gonna see a real coconut in the first corner. I hope not. That is going to be the question. Yeah. Let's see if Vaughn Hills can keep up his good record race so far. He's won the last two races. So doing well. Brandon also doing very well. Let's see if Dole got that pace today. You're very looking forward to seeing what the Acura is going to do in the wet. We've seen what the Audi is like. We haven't seen much of the McLaren and the Bentley. So I'm actually very, very interested in how the Bentley's going to act. I think the Bentley's going to be pretty good. Yeah, it's an all-round car. So I think the Alfa, I think the Bentley's going to be the one to be looking out for.
Okay, so we were just trying to get Chase was clashing with Gavin, but it looks like that we have now resolved that issue. One of the other issues is it doesn't look like Sarge is in here.
I'm clashing with Gavin.
Are you directing?
Well, I haven't been affiliated to anything as yet. But I can leave and come back in and then put that out because I'm clashing with Gavin right now.
Okay, so they've made you director.
No problem. I will take up that role. Is Sarge joining us?
So sorry for the delay, guys. We will be up and running now. It's just that if we have our broadcaster clashing, we unfortunately don't have the broadcaster. We're just going to make sure that it is all up and running correctly.
Here we go. We have Sarge with us.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good evening,
What's happening,
Ryan.
Sarge?
How's it?
Good, man. I don't know what's going on. Lashing.
And we saw that.
Okay, so it does look like all those thumbs are going up. I'm ready to go to... Was Tyler sending another invite? Okay, guys, so it looks like we're going. I will see you a little bit later.
Do you to get another director?
Yeah, I'm
So,
Okay,
Sarge,
cool.
I don't know if you're able to, directly after the heat, just drop in the points of who's finished where, just so that at the end of the race, we just know who the top 3 are, and then we can get those in for the interview afterwards.
Okay.
Awesome, thank you. We'll see you later, guys.
Sweet, good luck. Thanks for now. Oh, yeah, it's going to be a wonderful race. In the wet, the fast boys.
Dylan, I think we're going to have a bit of a problem with this lobby because Tyler exited. Just...
How did you leave?
Oh, I have pole! Oh, no!
You mean you had Paul?
There was my chance.
Listen, Ash, it's in the wet. It's up to anyone. You just got to make sure you don't do the mistakes.
I haven't done a lap yet, so there wouldn't be a lot of pressure.
Oh, yeah, well, if you haven't done any laps, then I think you got yourself to blame. This track is already a tricky track. It's a fast-flowing track, but I think with the wet weather...
Yeah, I enjoy this track. It's quite lacquer. I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to probably even things out in the wet, like we saw with Bravateer.
No, I love this track. This track is awesome in the dry and in the wet. Even though I probably had like the worst 2 races, but still loved it. No, okay.
Go buy a license.
Yeah.
I'm going to create a chat lobby. I don't have everyone here.
Yeah, we've got a license now, so that's all good. Just what did you think of the track?
Sorry, what's that?
What did you think of the track?
Unfortunately, I didn't have spend much time on it, but it looked like a track to go on.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a nice one. Like I say, the wet weather always a fork.
I think
there,
I've
so man, makes
missing
this
some
thing
people.
a little bit harder there.
Yeah, I watched the two races. Looked like a bit
Always
of fun.
miss it.
Yeah, no, it was. It's a lot of fun. Like I was quick, just not consistent. I think that's the key word here is consistency. If your consistency is not there, yeah, it's just not going to play out for you at all.
I just joined.
So yeah, but we take it as it goes. Let's see. Let's see what the Alpha Boys are gonna do.
Looked like watching the race, like a couple of corners there. Looked like some I'd like those.
Yeah. I know.
I have invited. Who else? Where's Terry? Is Terry here?
Yeah, it's going to be quite a fun race to actually be watching. I'm saying.
Yeah.
Morris in the Alpha is going to be another car to watch out for. That's a Bentley Object Namura. He's got the Bentley. It's going to be another car to watch. I think the Bentley's pretty good. Yeah, it's like an all-rounder car.
Is everybody in the chat lobby?
What the AMG is going to actually do. Because the AMG is still quite quick. You just got to know when to put down the power. Like the majority of the grid here is McLaren. McLaren's, I would love to see what the McLarens are going to do in the Alpha lobby.
There's one person who's not in.
It's certainly going to be interesting.
Okay.
Watching the Bravo.
No. Right, let's go.
BMW of Rudy down the main straight, and that.
Yeah, no, it's that slipstream. If you catch that slipstream right, you exit that last corner, and you are straight behind there. You will have the slipstream of notes. You will drag him all the way down to corner 201. Who's going to be later on the brakes there? That's another question. Who's going to take that gamble of pushing that a little bit further of a braking point?
I also think, like you said, the
Mark's going off.
What the Bentleys and I also think, like you said, the
Mark's going off.
What the
Sorry,
Bentleys.
I'll say that again. You cut off there.
I also think, like you said, like you said earlier, ones to watch. It would be interesting to see what the Bentleys and the McLaren do down. Like you said,
No.
Like you said earlier, ones to watch. It would be interesting to see what the Bentleys and the McLaren do down. Like you said,
No.
Like you said earlier, ones to watch. It would be interesting to see what the Bentleys and the McLaren.
Yes, see from Paul.
No.
Like you said earlier,
Brandon, 7.
Yes, see from Paul.
No, this is going to be right. And then we
Who's Mark's buzzing like a
right at the back. Brandon,
who's Mark is buzzing from Paul?
No, this is going to be right. And then we
Who's Mark's buzzing like a
right at the back. Brandon,
who's Mark is buzzing from Paul?
No, this is going to be right. And then we
Who's Mark's buzzing like a
right at the back. Brandon,
Whose mic is buzzing from Paul? Whose mic is buzzing?
Ooh, there's contact already in the back there.
Whose mic is buzzing from Paul? Whose mic is buzzing?
Ooh, there's contact already in the back. Oh, this is going to be an ugly road. There's already Dylan. Oh, carnage into the first corner. Oh, contact. Oh, this is going to be an ugly road. Given. What was already Dylan? Oh, 10 carnage into the first corner. Oh, contact. Great start. Given. What was already Dylan? Oh, 10 carnage into the first corner. Oh, contact. Great start. Given. Lendl. Sorry, already Dylan. Oh, 10 carnage into the first corner. Oh, contact. Great start. Given. Lendl. Sorry, already Dylan. Oh, 10 carnage into the first. The Audis are already up there, but two McLarens straight behind each other. Then we have flat pits. The Audis are already the AMG up there, but two McLarens straight behind each other. And then we have flat pits. The Audis are already the AMG up there, but two McLarens straight behind each other. And then we have flat pits. The Audis are already losing the AMG up there, but two McLarens carrying behind each other, and then we have flat pits. I don't know, losing it. And there goes the kick of the rear. As you see, they're Bentley all over the place, losing it. And there goes the kick of the rear. As you see, they're Bentley all over the place, losing it. This is where the drag race is going to come down. And there goes the stream of the rear. As you see, they're Bentley all over the place. Right, you'll be able to see where the drag race is going to come down. And there goes the stream of the rear. As you see, they're where we see now more catch it right, you'll be able to see where the drag race is going to come down. And there goes the stream of the rear. As you see, they're where we see now more catch it right, you'll be able to see where the drag race is going to come down. That's a nice little battle we have here. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Where we see now more wide there. You'll be able to see where the drag race is going to come down. That's a nice little battle we have here. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Where we see now more wide there. You'll be able to see where the drag race is going to come down. That's a nice little battle we have here. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Where we see now more wide there. Inside. That's a nice little battle we have here. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Wide in there. Inside. We have Vaughn Hills and Terry also battling out here. This fourth place. Inside. Vaughn Hills looking at the inside hill and Terry also battling out here. This what a nice fourth place. What an outbreaking move that was. Vaughn Hills looking at the inside hill, Terry moving up in third place. What a nice fourth place. What an outbreaking move that was. Vaughn Hills looking at the inside hill, Terry moving up in third place. What a nice fourth place. What an outbreaking move that was. And Brandon are having a good battle up here in the front. Which side is going to have more pace? Who's going to have the Brandon are having a good battle up here in the front. Doing right now is going to have more pace. Who's going to have Brandon are having I was getting about good battle up here in the front. Doing right now is going to have more pace. Who's going to have Brandon are having I was getting about good battle up here in the front. 5, doing right now is going to have more pace. Who's going to have Brandon? Turn 1. Oh, Brandon runs a little bit wide. Lendl takes it. He's crazy. Keep behind him. Oh, Brandon runs a little bit wide. Lendl takes it. He's crazy. Quite a good little battle that's going on here. Keep behind him. Brandon all over Lendl there. Lendl takes it. Lendl taking the tight line. Good little battle that's going on here. Behind him. Brandon all over Lendl there. Lendl takes it. Lendl taking the tight line. Good little battle that's going on here. Behind him. Brandon all over Lendl there.
On stream with quite a loud echo
line on stream. All over Lendl
on stream with quite a loud echo
line on stream.
Yeah, it's on the YouTube channel.
It's on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, your voice is fading. Yeah, it's on the YouTube channel.
It's on the YouTube channel. Get those things happen. We can't do anything about that right now.
Yeah, it's on the
Bit of a
YouTube channel.
sorry about that, guys. It's on the YouTube channel. Get those things happen. We can't do anything about that right now.
Yeah,
We have a bit of a
channel.
sorry about that, guys. It's on the YouTube channel. Get those things happen. We can't do anything. Kevin with a nice exit down the corner. Is the IDR8 going to take McLaren? McLaren is quite quick. Kevin defensively, pulling him all the way. IDR8 may have Vaughn in take McLaren nicely there. It's quite quick. Kevin defensively, pulling him all the way. IDR8 may have Vaughn in take. Does Kevin nicely there? It looks like he's going to get the position. Defensively, yeah, pulling him all the way. Oh, up breaking him just off. And wait, look wide. Losing two places now. Pulling him all the way. Oh, up breaking him just off. And wait, look wide. Losing two places now. Pulling him all the way. Oh, up breaking him that contact to Morris. Two places now. Scott. Oh, that was a bit of a contact to Morris. Two places now. Scott. Battle going on here. That was a bit of a contact to Morris. Dylan's the green numbers are there. Battle going on here. That was a bit of a contact. Oh, and Zul loses it. Just touching that curve there. That is battle going on here. That was a bit of a contact. Oh, and Zul loses it. Just touching that curve there. That is looked pretty good on the circuit. So yeah, that was just watching that curve. That is pretty good on the circuit. So having a great race today. Watching that that is pretty good on the circuit. So having a great race today. Watching that that is pretty having a good battle there. So having a great race today. Watching that having a good battle there. Dive down to a bit of a flash of light. Having a good battle there. Dive down to a bit of a flash of light. Awesome. It is quite insane what the noises that these cars can make. Terry still holding on to that third place. So we have three cars chasing third place right now. It is who's going to crack under that third place. So we have three cars chasing third place right now. Kevin riding the curbs a little bit there. Who's going to crack under that thing a little bit wide. We have three cars chasing third place right now. Kevin riding even wider. Who's going to take on that line thing a little nice wide. And we have Vaughn trying to sneak up on the inside. Does he get it wider? Is the question. He's side by side. I think he's going to back out. We have Vaughn trying to sneak up on the inside. Does he get it wider? Is the question. He's side by side. This is a race. We have Vaughn. Oh, Gavin loses it. And Vaughn, the car up being straight, is losing it a little bit. That was. Oh, Gavin loses it. Meant to actually happen there. And Vaughn, the car that was a bit straight, is losing it a little bit. The wet weather, it is so tricky to race. To me, it looked like down gearing again. The wet weather, it is so tricky to race. To me, it looked like down gearing again. The wet weather, it is so tricky
going on to the curbs while
to me, it looked like down gearing again. Now, I felt with driving the curbs, you get your advantages, but that advantage. But it's still, I felt it's still very nervous. You get your advantage by driving on that advantage. But it's still, I felt it's still very driving that little bit away from the curve. By driving on that advantage. I think that's all driving in driving that little bit away from the curve. By driving on that advantage. I think that's all driving. Nice little battle going on here. Driving that little bit away from the curve. By driving on saying that's all driving nice turn 3 going on here, driving that little bit away from the curve. Start driving on saying that's all driving nice turn 3 going inside line there. So we're going a little bit wide there. Driving on saying that's all driving. Oh, so we're getting a bit of an understeer. So we're going a little bit wide there. Jake's gonna have the inside. Is he? Oh, they start by side. Is he gonna back out? I don't think so. I think he's gonna hold him there. He's gonna see what he can do. Who's gonna outbrake who? Is he gonna back out? A little bit too wide. I think he's gonna hold him there. He's gonna see what he can do. Who's gonna outbrake who? Is he gonna great racing? You can't ask for it. I think he's gonna hold him there. He's gonna see two drivers that who's gonna outbrake who? Respectfully, great racing. You can't ask for it. I think he's gonna that much space and not make contact, and it's in the wet. This is crazy. Great racing. You can't give that much space and not make contact, and it's in the wet. This is crazy. Great racing. You can't give that much space and not make contact, and it's in the wet. This is crazy. Just behind each other. That much space and not make contact, and it's in the wet. This is crazy. Actually moving up for a person that hasn't practiced at all is not doing too bad. Actually moving up for a person that hasn't practiced at all is not doing too bad. Actually moving up Scott is having that hasn't practiced that horrific day. He's not doing too bad. 13th place right now, doesn't involve. Scott is not having the greatest race. Hasn't practiced that horrific day. He's not doing too bad. We have slightly in 11th now, doesn't involve. Scott is not having the greatest race. It is the guys that made the contact first corner in 11th, but a bit of damage for Scott is not having the greatest race. It is the guys that made the contact first corner in 11th, but a bit of damage for Scott is not having the greatest race. It is the guys that made the contact first corner in 11th, but a bit of damage for a race going on here. It is the guys that made the contact 7th first corner for 11th, damage. So a race going on. Whoever holds this 5th place for round number 2 and 5th place. These two drivers, who's gonna want that pole more? For round number 2 and 5th place. These two drivers gonna have a better drive out of the final corner. For round number 2 and a little bit snappy there, but gonna have it on the drive soon. The final corner. For round number 2 and a little bit snappy there, but gonna have it on the drive soon. The final corner. For round number 2 and a little bit snappy there, but gonna have it on the stringer cars from Ash, Gavin, Jake, they are all right on top of each other. There is no cars from Ash, Gavin, Jake, they are all right on top of each other. There is no cars boiling here. Ash is keeping everyone. He wants that whole place. But Gavin is hot on the heels. Oh, Ash goes a little bit wide there. Living Gavin, he wants that face. He's going to keep Gavin is slams the door, shutting his face. Goes a little bit wide there. Living Gavin, he wants that face. But put down that slams the door, shutting his face. Goes a little bit wide there. Living Gavin, he wants that not that slow down. That slams the door, quite a car who's going to be late on the pressure dive on the inside. Garen, not that slow down. That coming in there a little bit hot. Who's going to be late on the pressure dive on the inside? Garen, object is not in the back in night. Coming in there a little bit. He needs to pick up the scratch on the pressure dive on the inside. It is going to carnage that is going to happen in night. Coming in there a little bit. He needs to pick up the scratch on the pressure dive on the inside. It is going to faces there. Carnage that is going to happen. Vaughn is now in 3rd place. in there a little bit, waiting to pick up the scraps on the area that he's gonna places there. Vaughn is now in closing up on Lendl and waiting to pick up the scraps. What a time to catch them places there. That's the dream. Closing up on Lendl and does he hold it? Does Lendl go too wide? No, Lendl just slips in behind him. That's the dream. Closing up on Lendl and does he hold it?
Stephen, how was that
wide? No,
spray
Lendl just
behind
slips
the
in
car
behind
when you're in
him.
that
That's
slipstream?
the dream. Oh, the spray is insane. It is. You don't know if you want to just get back out of the slipstream to get a bit of fresh air. The spray is yeah, you don't know if you want to just back quite bad. I must say, for a light rain, it feels like a heavy rain on the track. The puddles weren't that bad, but in the second round, a light rain, it feels like a heavy rain on the track.
Definitely see it on the stream.
The puddles weren't that bad, but in the second round, a light rain, it feels like a heavy rain. Yeah, the first round, I didn't even take notice of them because I probably didn't even see them. So it wasn't that bad. First round, I didn't even take notice of them because I probably didn't feel like a light rain. More of a heavier rain. I didn't even take notice of them because I probably didn't feel like a light rain. More of a heavier rain. Oh, definitely. Lendl and Brandon like a light rain. And changing here, we have Gavin Terry. It is oh, definitely like right on top of each other. Brandon like a light rain. And changing here, we have Gavin Terry. It is oh, definitely like right on top of each other. Brandon like a light rain. And changing here, we have Gavin Terry.
Jake's
oh, definitely like right on top of each other. He finally got past Silver. What if Silver actually did a mistake because there's like a 2-second gap between 3 seconds. So I wonder if he did a little mistake there. Did a mistake because there's like a 2-second gap between 3 seconds. So I wonder if he did a little missed something there between them. Because I see Vaughn Hills also moved down. So I wonder if he did a little missed something there between them. Really, we missed Vaughn Hills also moved down. Ash, Vaughn, missed something there between them. Really, we missed Vaughn Hills moved down. Ash, Vaughn, the rear ends come out. And it's really a bit of a moved down. Ash, Vaughn, the rear ends come out. And holding on to a bit of moved down. Ash, Vaughn, the rear ends come out. And holding on to a bit of Vaughn fighting it out. The rear ends come out. And holding on to a bit of Vaughn fighting it out. Vaughn wouldn't mind getting that 6th place right now. Which means that he's got pole position in heat number 2. Vaughn wouldn't mind getting that 6th place right now. Vaughn, he's got for that position in a little bit of an upper hander to be starting pole. Vaughn wouldn't mind getting that 6th place right now. Vaun, he's got for that position in a little bit of an upper hander.
It's pretty close like this and you're sitting in 7th and 8th, you're gonna so you can get that 6th place. It's pretty close like this and you're sitting in 7th and 8th, you're gonna so you can get that 6th place. It's pretty close like this and you're sitting in 7th and 8th, you're gonna so you can get that 6th place. It's pretty close like
48, 49, 67. They're doing similar to Bravo, so there's not really outstanding. They're not like maybe a lower. They're doing similar to Bravo, so there's not really the guys are doing not exactly as Bravo. They're doing similar to Bravo, so there's not really the guys are doing not exactly as Bravo. They're doing similar to Bravo, losing out to objects and Terry just lost the place to Jake. So Jake's moving up the grid very nicely there. He's now into fourth place. Terry just lost the place to Jake. So Jake's moving up the grid and there goes Jake. He's now into fourth place. Terry just lost the place to Jake. So Jake's moving up the grid and there goes Jake. He's now into fourth place. Terry just lost the place to Jake. Object of past Jake moving over there. There goes Jake. He's now into fourth place. Camera first in the title line. He's going to slip in past Jake moving over there. There goes Jake. He's now into fourth place. Camera first in the title line. But the title line is he going to get the better drive out of here. Over there. There goes Jake. Bentley. Cool. Hardy in the title line. But the title line is he going to get the better drive out of here. Over there. I wasn't expecting that. I thought the Audi was going to be a lot quicker out of that corner. Line is going to get the better drive out of here. And I wasn't expecting that. I thought trying to break that was going to be in there out of that corner. Line is going to get the better drive out of here. And I wasn't expecting that. Corner there, break that was going to be in there out of that corner. Line is going to get the better drive out of here. And I wasn't expecting that. Crazy race we are having in there out of that corner. I'm remaining. This is the last lap. Now crazy race we are having. Man, could not ask for any closer than this right now. Crazy race we are having. Man, could not ask for any closer than this right now. Crystal was holding on to that sixth place. Man, could not ask for any closer than this right now. We're still having a good battle up here all by them learned himself. Man, could not ask for any closer than this right now. We're still having a good battle up here all by them learned himself. These guys can do from sixth place and upwards. That's still having to be the question now. They're going to have guys can do from sixth place. Great start. No collision in that first corner is going to be key. Now they're going to have guys can do from sixth place. Great start. No collision in that first corner is going to be key. Now they're going to have guys can do
turn
from
one being so
great
sharp
start. No collision in that first corner is going to be key. Now they're going to have crazy race. That's for two. Brandon there with the win. Lendl second. Gavin third. Object on a mirror fourth. That's for two. Terry first and the win. Lendl sixth place. Gavin third. Object on a mirror fourth. That's for two. Terry first and White ends staying race. Sixth place. Pulling third. Pulling a little bit shy there. Vaughn. Terry first and White ends staying race. Finishing ninth. Pulling third. Pulling a little bit shy there. Not having a real great race here. White ends staying race. Finishing ninth. Pulling third. Pulling a little bit shy there. Not having a real great race here. We saw the action in turn one. I think that messed up quite a bit of the race. Not having a real great race here. We saw the action in turn one. I think that 145 the race. Lendl was 145 one. We saw the action in turn one. I think that 145 match. Lendl was 145 match one. The time of Lendl. So that would have been one race to see Jake up there with Brandon match one. The time of Lendl. So that would have been the pace to keep on race to see Jake up there with Brandon match one. The time of Lendl. So that would have been the pace to keep on race to see Jake up there with Brandon match one. Just having another day in the office to keep on race to see Jake up there with Brandon was having another day in the office to keep on race to see Jake up there with I don't have the bill. Having another day in the office. Wasn't Scott up there with I don't have the bill. Having another day in the office. Wasn't Scott up there with I don't have the bill. Brandon Lendl have Terry. Wasn't Scott up there with I don't have the bill. Brandon Lendl have Terry. Wasn't Scott I don't have the Brandon Lendl have object steering. Wasn't Scott? I don't have the Brandon Lendl have object steering. Wasn't Scott? Okay. I don't have the Brandon Lendl have object steering. Wasn't Scott? Okay. I don't have the Brandon quite a race here in heat one of Alpha. Yeah, it was quite a a pity for the Connies in the first turn. Yeah, in heat one with a few of the fast guys there. So would have been nice to see Marius Connies in the first turn. Dylan heat one with I feel the wet weather is just taking a bit of a toll on the drivers. A little bit of a shake of the head there. Yeah, I know. I feel the wet weather is taking a bit of a toll on the drivers. A little bit of a shake of the head there. Yeah, I told you you should just change the car. Drivers, go ride that sport. I told you should just change the car. Go ride that sport. I told you.
Yeah, no, that was definitely
change the car. Go ride that sport. Taking too much of the curb there. The wet weather. Change the car. Chewing gum, you can chew as much as you want, but you got to spit it out. Too much of the curb there. The wet weather. Change the car. Chewing gum, you can chew as much as you want, but you got to spit it out. Too much of the curb there. The Ash came up there. Chewing gum, we see what actually happened to Ash because he was in first place for majority of the race, and then all of a sudden we see what actually Vaughn because he was in first place for majority of the race, and then I think I made contact with Vaughn because he was in moving down further down for majority of the race, and then I think I made contact with Vaughn because he was in moving down further down for majority of the race.
Yeah, especially with this weather, makes it worse in some situations.
Yeah, and the speed that the guys were doing, maybe one little mistake like that, as you saw, Jake was in fourth place, put him all the way down, and the speed that the guys were doing, maybe quite one little mistake like that, as you saw, Jake was one little mistake, put him all the way down, and it's doing maybe quite one little mistake like that, as you saw, Jake was one little mistake, put him all the way down, and Terry actually had a good race mistake like that, as you saw, one little mistake, racing third. Terry actually had a good race just outside of the podium. One little mistake, racing third. He did have a good round. Just outside of the podium. One little mistake, racing third. He did have a good round. Just outside of the podium. One little mistake, racing third. He did have a good round. Just outside of the podium. He did have a good round. Just outside of the podium. So who's going to take round two? Just outside of the podium. So who's going to take round two? Just outside of the podium. Todd? Who's going to take round two? Who's going to take round two?
Oh man, I think let's get through turn one first, and then we'll go.
Who's going to take round two? Who's going to take round two?
Oh man, I think let's get through turn one first.
Third one is going to be funny. Who's going to take round two? I'm corrected. Quicksilver.
I think let's get through turn one first.
Third one is going to be funny. Drive. You can stay up there and corrected. We know you got the pace to keep it there. Third one is going to be a little mistake. Drive. You can stay up there and corrected. We know you got the pace to
I'm sure the guys have learned their lesson from
a little mistake. Drive.
To turn one.
Stay up there and corrected. We know you got the pace
I'm sure the guys will be a lot better from
a little mistake. No, it is a rolling start, so it won't be a
I'm sure the guys
saying
will
that
be a lot better.
it's just that no one thought so it won't be a
I'm sure the guys
what are they
will be a lot better.
it's just that no one thought so people retiring
I'm sure the guys
what
will
are they
be a lot better.
it's just that no one thought so people retiring what are they it's just that no one thought so people retiring what are they it's just that no one thought so people retiring what are they it's just that no one thought so people retiring it's just that no one thought so people retiring it's just that no one thought so people retiring it's just that no one thought so people retiring it's just that no one thought so people retiring Take two of round two. Yes. Take two of round two. Yes. Take two of round two. Yes. The mug game champions. Take two of round two. Yes, the mug game champions. Take two of round two. The mug game champions. Take two of round two. The mug game champions.
Because I'm watching
Take two of
through the
round
Discord.
And you're watching through the Discord.
Yeah.
Where the echo is coming from.
I'm watching.
I actually thought it was maybe my headset. And you're watching through the Discord.
Yeah.
Where the echo is coming from.
I'm watching.
I actually thought it was maybe my headset. And you're watching through the Discord.
Yeah.
Where the echo is coming from.
I'm watching.
I actually thought it was maybe my headset. And you're watching through the Discord. Where the echo is coming from. I actually thought it was heat two. And you're watching through heat two.
See the next round of the series heading off to Long Beach.
Yeah, Long Beach is going to be a interesting
next
one.
round of the
There
series,
is
heading
Wall
off
Wall
to
and
Long
Mall Wall.
Yeah.
Long Beach is going to be that is going to be a interesting one. There is
Definitely. I didn't see what the weather
Mall Wall.
was. Sincerely hope it's not
Long Beach
raining.
is going to be. No, I don't think it's raining. I think it's actually I think I did catch a glimpse of that.
Sincerely hope it's not
Long Beach
raining.
is going to be. No, I don't. So can you imagine that track? I think I did catch a glimpse of that. That's actually a handful already. Can you imagine that track? I think I did catch a glimpse of that. That is one already. Can you imagine that was done well there? So, as long as you don't hit the walls and the tires, already. Was done well there. So, as long as you don't hit the walls and the tires, already. Was done well. But Brannett. As long as you don't hit the walls and the tires, already. Was done well. But Brannett. As long as you don't hit the walls and the tires, already. Was done well. But Brannett. As long as you don't hit the walls and the tires.
Actually got a bit excited here to see what happens in the seat.
But Brannett. Oh, man. I can't wait when I see Morris.
Actually
Right
got
at
a
the
bit
back.
excited here to see what happens in the
See
seat.
what he's doing. Oh, had a awful on weight and I think Morris just wasn't easy. See what he's had a awful come down to the main straight. They start bunching up. Just wasn't easy. Top this in the middle. Third series is second come down to the main straight. They start bunching up. This is going to be the race of the first corner. Up at a little cleaner than he won. The main straight. They start bunching up. This is going to be the race of the first corner. Up at a little cleaner than he won. The main straight. They start bunching up. This is going to be the race of the first corner. Up at a little cleaner than he won. The main straight. They start bunching up. This is going to be the race of the first corner. Up at a little cleaner than he won. The main straight. They start bunching up. So a lot. Sort of stretch and making sure. And we got Silver's got to jump on Terry. Terry's still sort of stretch and making sure. Third. And we got Silver's got to jump on Terry. This corner is still nice and clean. Third. And we got Silver's got to jump on Terry. This corner is still nice and clean. Teammates right behind each other. And we got Silver's got to jump on Terry's corner is still nice and clean. Teammates right behind each other. Yeah, no, that was a lot better than Heat 1. Jeez. Yeah, no, that was a lot better than Heat 1. Jeez. That corner a little bit. Yeah, no, that was a lot better than Heat 1. AMG fought over Ashley. That corner a little bit. Yeah, no, that was a lot better than what AMG fought over Ashley. Gavin and the corner a little bit. Yeah, no, that was a lot better than what AMG. Lendl loses it. Oh, no. Gavin and the corner was hoping to see him up there again. Lendl then off Grant Gavin and Grant was hoping to see him up there again there. Lendl then off Grant Gavin was going a little bit wide there to see him up there again there. Lendl then off Grant Gavin was going a little bit wide there to see him up there again there. They have like 4 Audis, 1 McLaren. They have like Terry Audis. Taking from the outside. Oh, a little bit of contact. Oh, that was like Terry Audis. I don't think Terry from the outside. Oh, a little bit of contact. That one is. In the west, it is so difficult to know what he's going to have. Oh, a little bit of contact. That one is still got a little bit. In the west, it is so the corner to know where he was already at. Oh, a little bit of contact. That one is full track width. So in the west, it is so the corner, but unfortunate that's where he was already at. That one is full track width. So in the west, it is so the corner, but unfortunate that's where he was already at. Jake. Sitting down, Vaughn, right there, sitting down, Vaughn, right there, sitting down, a little water off the track, right there.
Again, some really close racing here between like fourth all the way through to 6 and 7.
It is a insane battle that we're having here.
Fourth all the way through to 6 and 7.
Yeah, it is a insane battle that we're having here. So difficult to pick a winner right now because in the web it could come down to who does that. So the least of a crucial mistake in the web it could come down to who does that. So the least of a crucial in the web. That's why I love the weight. I love a bit of a challenge. I don't always like a dry track. Oh yes, but there's some in the wet there. So that's why I love the wet. I love a bit of a challenge with their strategy. I don't always like a dry track. Oh yes, put a foot and go. You gotta play with that throttle so nicely. You can't strategy drive. Put a foot and go. I love the wet. Play with that throttle so nicely. You can't strategy drive. Put a foot and go. I love the way. Play with that throttle so nicely. You can't strategy battle. Put and go. I love the way. Play with that throttle so nicely. You can't strategy battle. It's crazy. I love the way. 7 horses there. Everyone plays 7 horses there. Everyone plays 7 third place. Third place is where it's like, oh, the Bentley's a little bit stringy out of the corner. It looks like what Brandon third place won. And Jake, what? Bentley's a little bit stopping each other out of the corner. It looks like what Brandon third place won. And Jake, what? Bentley's a little bit stopping each other at the last second. What Brandon they break him off there. And Jake, what? At the last second. Jake's. Oh! That would have been a freaking good move if we got that to stick. Take 2 cars at once. That would have been a freaking good move if we got that to stick. Taking now Vaughn at once. That would have been a freaking good move if we got that to stick. Taking now Vaughn at one. Object Furrow. That would have been Terry just looked like he's having a race all by himself there now. He's ahead of everyone else, so it looks like he's having a great race in P2. He's ahead of everyone else, so it looks like he's having a great race in P2. In the West, yes. Oh, and that was Vaughn. It looks like he's having a great race in the West, yes. Oh, and that was Vaughn. The gap there is having a great race but in the West, yes. Oh, and that was Vaughn. And the gap there is making sure that Bentley is what it is a Bentley can be sure that Bentley is what it is a Bentley can be sure that really in there that slipstream is what it is a Bentley can be sure that really in there that slipstream is what it is a Bentley can be really in around the outside. Does he make it stick? Oh, he does. What a move! What a move! Make it stick. Oh, he does. Lining up. Oh, and then there comes object back straight at him. What is going on here? Lining up. Oh, and then there comes object back straight at him. Brandon had it there. What object is coming? Spanning the works. He said, no, I'm not giving this up. Brandon had it there. What object is coming? Spanning the works. He said, no, I'm not giving this up. Brandon had it there. One is trying to catch up to the rest of the boys. I'm not giving this up. Oh, and there goes object throwing it away there. Oh, he's going to be kicking himself. I'm not giving this. Oh, and there goes object throwing it away there. Yeah, he's going to be kicking himself. I'm not giving that was. Oh, and there goes object throwing it away there. Jake's standing. Yeah, Brandon now. Probably needs something too hard. Jake's standing. Brandon now. Probably needs something. Yeah. So I wonder if Terry has made a mistake because he was 4 steps ahead. So this is a hack. So what the game changer here. So is Terry gonna put ahead? So this is a front. But I think if those guys in front, Gab was Terry gonna drive away. So is trying to Gab in front as long as possible. If those guys in front, Gab was Terry gonna drive away. So if these two start fighting, then it means Brandon, Jake, and Vaughn are going to be catching up very soon. So we're going a little bit wide, then it means Brandon, Jake, and Vaughn are going to be catching up very soon. So we're going a little bit wide, then it means Brandon, Jake, and Vaughn are going to be catching up very soon. So we're going a little bit better, going a little bit wider. And Terry is taking a little bit more of a tighter line, going a little better, going a little bit wider. And Terry is taking a little bit more of a tighter line, going a little better, going a little bit wider. That Audi Terry got a better of a rotation line, McLaren right now, a little bit wider. That Audi Terry got a better of a rotation line. Does. McLaren right now, a little bit wider. That Audi seems to got a better rotation line. Who's going to have the better McLaren on an exit chair? Very close. This is a real drag race. Who's going to have the better McLaren on an exit chair? Is Gab going to get low and done a little bit of a flash with the light? This is a real drag race. Who's going to have the better on an exit chair? Is Gab going to get low and done a little bit of a flash with the light? This is a real drag race. Who's going to have better on an exit chair? Is Gab going to get low and done a little bit of a flash with the light? This is a real drag race. It does look like the McLaren's got a bit of a hand there.
Because even in the slipstream it doesn't
look like the McLaren's got a bit of didn't look like he was catching him there. No, it didn't.
Because even in the slipstream it
doesn't look like Ali would didn't look like maybe he was catching there. No, it was another machine by itself. Didn't look like maybe he was catching there. No, it was another machine by itself. Another battle by itself. So this is a quite a place right here. Another battle by itself. So this is a quite a place right here. Good battle there. Another battle by itself. So this is a quite a place right here. Good battle there. Another battle by itself. This is a quite a place right here. Good battle there. Another battle by itself. This is a quite a place right here. Good battle.
definitely both battle.
Okay, Brandon there. So that was and Gab actually took Terry. So Brandon there. People are changing up the position to the track here. So Gab was Terry. And there comes Terry back at Gab. Changing up the position to the track here. Oh, Gab was Terry. And there comes Terry back at Gab. Nice little battle. Nice clean little battle there. Oh. Gab was Terry back at Gab. Nice little battle. Nice clean little battle there. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Gab was Terry back at Gab. Nice little battle.
Ash coming on the
clean little battle there. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. See that. Object Morris and Pitt and Vaughn is closing up there. So there is like 4 cars. See that. Object Morris and Pitt and Vaughn is closing up there. What is Ash going to do? Oh, object in the dive on the inside. Object Morris and Pitt. That goal is not there. What is Ash going to do? Oh, object in the dive on the inside. Object Morris just waiting for that little mistake in front of him. Oh, object in the dive on the inside. Object Morris just waiting for that little mistake in front of him. Oh, object in the dive on the inside. a little bit harder. It looks like an upbreak. Morris having now a race for a little bit harder. It looks like an upbreak. Morris having now a right there behind. And so is Vaughn, so Morris having now a right there behind. And so is Vaughn, so couldn't put down that time to get from the AMG. Couldn't put down that time just yet. Get from the AMG. There goes Morris. He's going to make it out the outside. Couldn't put down that time just yet. The line. There goes Morris. Make it so Terry and Gav have a little bit of contact with object coming back at Morris. My goodness, this is a race. Gav cannot crack that one off the right. Object coming back at Morris. My goodness, this is a race. Gav cannot crack that one off the right. Race not to be forgotten. My goodness, this is a race. Gav cannot crack that one. Right, race not to be forgotten. Oh, there goes object losing it.
Brilliant racing.
Oh, that was a bit unlucky there. Oh, there goes object losing. Moving up the field here. And Morrison. Oh, that was a bit unlucky there. Oh, there goes object losing. Moving up the field here. Getting a bit sideways. Oh, that was buckets all over Morris. Right there in the back of the Morris. Still here. Getting a bit sideways. Oh, that was buckets all over Morris. A close right there in the back of the Morris. Still here. Getting a bit sideways. All over Morris. Doing a tremendous job here to hold off all these drivers. First place, that is, he must be exhausted. To hold off all these drivers. Never mind, just fighting with the place, that is, the track, he must have been fighting with to hold off all these drivers. And the track must be another, he must have been fighting with to hold off all these drivers. Another option to think of. Another, he must have been fighting with oh, another option to a little bit wide, sitting down, right on top of that. Another option to a little bit wide, sitting down, right on goes that. Marius, oh, and there goes Speed. Oh, right on goes that. Marius, oh, and there goes Speed. Oh, wants to pick up the little space. Right on goes that. Marius. Oh, and there goes Speed. Oh, wants to pick up the little space. Right on goes that. Marius. Oh, and there goes Speed. Oh, wants to pick up the little space. This is the last lap. Terry takes a win. Jason second. What's that? Did we miss that where Gav the last made a mistake? Gav dropping down fourth. Jason second. What's that? Did we miss that where Gav made a mistake? Right behind Brandon right. Gav dropping down. Oh, what a move! Second. What's that? Did we miss that where Gav made a mistake? Right behind Brandon right. Dropping down. We're gonna do the under move. Oh, what? Oh! Right behind Brandon. What a move! Yeah, what a move! Oh, what? Oh! Right behind Brandon. What a move! Yeah, wow! What a move! Wow! Oh, what? Oh! What a move! Oh, what a race! Wow! Each one was something to watch. P2 was better. Man, mistakes coming up there from 8-4-1 was something to watch. That was better. What a crazy race! Man, Mario coming up there from 8-4-1 first race, coming back then. It was what a crazy race! Man, Mario coming up there from 8-4-1 first place there was what a crazy, incredible coming up there from
Yeah, no, he did very well holding all those off.
he had like 5 or 6 cars on top of him. It was quite crazy that he had like 5 or 6 cars on top of him. It was definitely quite crazy that he had like 5 or 6 cars on top in the wet. It was definitely quite crazy and upset a lot of in the wet. Darren to finish 10th and upset a lot. The Audis just looked very dominant in the wet, but I guess, like I say, when you're doing those fast times, one little mistake and you could drop down the order so far.
Yeah. Quickly.
Well, look at Object. Object was 3rd. He ended up 8th in the race. So it was a crazy race there.
Definitely action-packed 2 heats. Alpha.
Definitely, it was racing to not to be missed. It was crazy.
I'm sure the guys will definitely be watching the stream tomorrow or later tonight.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I'm sure a lot of guys will be watching the stream straight after this.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll put you with Quicksilver getting a little bit of a touch there with Terry.
Hello. Yo.
Good day.
Definitely missed out on that, on all that racing. Holy cow!
Oh man, you missed out on great racing. Jeez.
No, it was brilliant.
So, Sarge, who's the top 3 that are joining in the commentary box?
Terry, Gav, and Jax.
Okay, let's get them in. Is that the top 3, eh?
Yeah.
Hey, Jake.
Man.
Hello, Jack.
Wow. That was brutal.
Jeez, tell me about it.
That expression, I guess it was a nice.
Back at Terry. Hey, guys.
Nice one, Terry.
Jeez, Terry, I see you combed your hair.
Are you sure that's...
There isn't a lot of it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Maybe you could ask Jakes for some hair.
Yeah, from his face.
Sarge, who was in 3rd place overall?
X, we don't know.
No, we do know. Sarge was calculating.
Ooh.
I came 3rd and 3rd, so.
So we'll say it's you in 3rd then, Gav.
I don't know. Still happy.
Jeez.
What a race. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to you, Gav. We started in the daytime, but in the rain. And very different conditions, to say the least, to what we're used to racing.
It is different, but I think the tyres do sort of suit the weather. So if you easy on the throttle and that, it's not too bad. But yeah, just that first race. Unfortunately, there was that mishap in the first corner, and it affected me. I had damage. I'm sure plenty of people had damage because I thought Oaks are going to come flying past me on the straights, and nobody really did. I had a good battle with Terry over there as well. Terry and then Vaughn and Terry. I had a battle with Ashley. Yeah, I had so many battles. It was amazing. And then the second race, Terry can't get past you, bud. Can't get past you, man. That car wasn't so slow, but it's so wide. And unfortunately we touched, and I tried to do a move and try to go on the inside, and we touched, and I had it right, and then we touched again, and then that was the end. Well, then I spun out and went into the wall. I had to reverse, but it was super fun. At least I got lucky this time. I qualified 5th in the first race. The previous races I've qualified 10th and worse, so it does help, definitely. So
all I want to say is I want to start at the back again, because starting in 3rd position didn't help me, because I was part of the steamroller that came through. So
that is true.
I almost said a very bad word. So I'm happy to start on the first off the first page, because that's where I get my highest positions. Jeez. Anyway.
It was super fun. What a fun race.
Let's go to you, my Jakes. You were in the thick of things and basically fighting your way up. Good consistent racing there for you. But a little bit of a spanner move in the beginning for you. Little pirouette off the line.
Yeah, luckily I started last in the last position, so I did a 360 there. I didn't ruin anybody else's race there. When everybody passed the first corner, I was still in the straight, so I had to fight my way up there. And luckily, some people made mistakes and bumped each other, and that I managed to get 4th at one stage, and then I also spun out. I don't use my traction control. I just feel it slows me down, so I had to, just feather the throttle on the corners. And difficult to hear my car sound over the car sound ahead of me and behind me. So I don't know if I was giving too much throttle or not. So I just had to, play it by ear and by foot. My second race I started, and I finished 8th. And my second race I started 8th. So I didn't have to do a standing start, which helped me a lot for spinning out there. And I fought my way up there. Had a very nice battle with Brandon, some nice clean racing there. And luckily for me, Gavin made a mistake trying to overtake Terry, and I overtook him. And I reckon, Terry, if I had another 3 laps, it would have been close.
You were right there, man. It was close anyway. I watched the time coming down quite rapidly, so the race end came at the right time.
Yeah, but I'm very glad for you that you got the spot, Terry. You deserve it, man.
Thanks, Jax.
Yeah, let's go to you, Terry. I think the first race you were also right up there in 3rd place for quite a bit. I think you dropped down to about 4th in the end there, but ended up getting your first Alpha Tier win in the McLaren in the rain, in the dark. So clearly make the conditions tricky and Terry will shine.
Yeah, thanks. I can't even remember the first race, to be honest with you. That's already a blur. Sorry, Vaughn. Did a Hamilton on him. He helped me make it into the corner. Sorry about that, Vaughn, on your back bumper. So the start was a little bit crazy. I think Jake's got past in that race 1 and then spun it, and the end of the race came, and you know what I mean, I didn't really make too many errors as such. It was just more a case of just trying to keep that car on track, because the McLaren, I can tell you now, is not the best car out there. It's certainly just understeers and just doesn't want to work for you. But race 2 was great, man. I had a super race with Gav. Closed the door on him a couple of times. Unfortunately, Dirkie left me a ball between his car and the wall in the slipstream to try and get past him, and pushed me to the outside. And I just went around the outside, but unfortunately, I don't know if he tagged me or if it was just a touch on the side by side. But unfortunately, I saw him going off. So sorry about that, but that's racing. And then Gav worked me non-stop. So Gav, thanks for a good race. Sorry that it turned out the way it did for you, but that's still a good race, I must say. So yeah, thanks guys. It was the super win, and happy to be racing with you guys. Really
awesome. So thank you very much, guys. To all the viewers that were out there and supporting the drivers, thank you so much. A big thank you just goes out to Deliver Your Parcel as well, the sponsor for this series. Then thank you there to Stephen and Sarge that are taking up the commentary box this evening. And then not forgetting our hosts Lendl and Tyler Scott sharing the responsibilities there, and Ashley hosting that privateer. To you, Ashley, off you go.
Yeah, guys, and well done to our racers this evening. And if you want to take part and join us, please come and check out our website, sarcoracing.co.za. We have some merchandise there that you can purchase from the website. We have a cool racing cap. You can see Dylan wearing it at the moment. We also have a face mask, and you can get a water bottle. Guys, remember, all these proceeds from the selling of the merchandise do go towards hosting these events, and please support us there. You can also watch us on Facebook and on YouTube live.
Right, guys, until we see you on a Thursday night, keep racing, and thanks for watching. Yos.
Cheers, guys.
cheers,
Cheers, boys.
cheers, guys.